From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Hello, and welcome to Deep Dive from Neural Newscast. I am Peter Rowan.
And I'm Talia Bennett. It is August 2nd, a date that often gets overlooked in favor of July 4th. But in many ways, today is the day the American project truly became a signed, sealed, and delivered reality.
That is exactly right. While we celebrate the adoption of the Declaration in July, historians point to today in 1776 as the moment members of the Second Continental Congress actually put pen to parchment. This was the signing of the engrossed copy, that large, formal document we recognize today as the cornerstone of the nation.
It was a dangerous act of unity, Talia. 56 delegates in total signed it, starting with New Hampshire and working their way down through the colonies. From a legal and institutional perspective, this wasn't just a symbolic gesture. It was a collective act of treason against the British Crown.
Precisely. By signing their names, they were moving from a group of dissenters to a unified body taking full responsibility for a new government. It transformed the text from a statement of intent into a binding political instrument.
It is fascinating how much of our national identity was physically forged on this specific date, which leads us naturally to the people who built the physical and intellectual landscape of the country.
We have 3 significant birthdays today, and the first takes us to the very streets of the capital. Pierre Charles L'Enfant was born on this day in 1754. He was the French-born architect and engineer chosen by George Washington to design the layout of Washington, D.C.
L'Enfant was a visionary, Peter. He didn't just want a functional city. He designed those grand, radial avenues and open spaces that were meant to reflect the dignity of a new republic. Even though he had a famously difficult personality and was eventually dismissed from the project, his basic plan remains the backbone of the city's urban design.
Continuing that French connection to American iconography, we also celebrate the birthday of Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, born in 1834. He is the sculptor who designed Liberty Enlightening the World, better known to us as the Statue of Liberty.
It is incredible to think that on the same calendar day, we celebrate the man who designed the capital city and the man who designed our most famous monument. Bartholdi's work stands as a massive feat of engineering and art, a welcoming beacon that has defined the American skyline for generations.
But the American identity isn't just about stone and streets. It's about the internal dialogue of its people. That brings us to our third birthday, James Baldwin, born in 1924. He was a monumental novelist, essayist, and playwright.
Baldwin is essential, Peter. Through works like Go Tell It on the Mountain and his incisive essays, he explored the complexities of race, sexuality, and the human condition. He challenged the nation to live up to the ideals written in that declaration we discussed earlier. He was a moral compass for the civil rights movement.
From the grand scale of city planning and monuments to the intimate power of literature, these 3 men shaped how we see ourselves. And speaking of how we see ourselves, Talia, today's fact of the day involves a very small but ubiquitous piece of history.
On this day in 1909, the very first Lincoln pennies entered circulation. What makes this so significant is that it was the first widely circulated United States coin to feature the likeness of a real person, in this case, Abraham Lincoln.
Before this, United States coinage generally featured symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. Putting Lincoln on the penny was a major shift toward honoring historical figures directly on currency. The original 1909 design featured Lincoln's portrait on the front and wheat stalks on the reverse.
It's a perfect example of how history ends up in the palm of your hand. From a signed parchment in 1776 to a copper coin in 1909, these moments define the narrative of a nation.
A day of signatures,
visionaries, and symbols. Thank you for joining us for this look at August 2nd. I am Peter Rowan.
And I'm Talia Bennett. You can find more historical narratives at deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.